Good evening, Man v Fat Swansea, Season 5, Matchday 7 with your coach Howell. I hope you're all well. It's been, again, another amazing evening on a Tuesday at Swansea's Pure Football. What can I say, guys? You are just exceeding expectations every single week. Again, it was one of those weeks where everything was just tremendous. And you'll see that as we're going through this roundup tonight. So let's start from the start. 97 out of 118 in attendance. Amazing to see, guys. That is the consistency is something that's just screams out here. It's bonkers what our consistency and regularity of how many people are attending every single week is just, it's absolutely fantastic. Tracker bonus goals. We've got yellow, red and orange taking the tracking goals this week. So then you split the spoil to the goal each there. The biggest team loss, of course, goes to the blue, as you can see on the screen. And, of course, the attendance points go to pink, yellow and orange. We've got, on the pitch goals, we've got 42 pitch goals. And this is where you can see that things are really, and realistically, you can see how, not how little, but how much more of an impact the scales effect and scales, and of course the rumble effect, the overall standings here, because we've got the scales goals at 101 goals altogether. You'll see exactly why later on with the amount of milestones inductees we've had this week, and of course the coaches bonus goals of 44 going in, which include of course the amount of people still in the rumble plus the tracker goals, etc. Richard Harris, season 5 leader, congratulations mate, you're still there with 11.98% of your weight loss lost in what, 7 weeks, 6 weeks I think it was, actually, because you didn't start the season with us. So yeah, 7 weeks, call it 6 weeks. We'll go from there. If you want me to verify, I'm more than happy to do so next Tuesday. On to it. Let's have a look. What else are we going after here? So if it's going to work for me, I don't think it's going to work for me today, is it? There we are. Eventually it is working for me. Brilliant. So we've got here exactly where we are. This has thrown me completely, and you can hear by my voice. So this is where we are. We've got our weekly team loss, the biggest losers, the weekly club loss, and of course our inductees to our milestone clubs. Honestly, that's thrown me. Shocking. So, okay, let's start with the weekly team losses. So we've got Thinner to Win It at 5.1 kilos. Fat Astuta and Incredible Bulks breaking even. With Sport and Beergut at 4.5. Markaban Fasting breaking even as well there. And then Frying Dutchman at 6.1. Scran Ra 3.2. Pink Panthers at 3.6. Fatio at 1.4. And as you can see, the deservedly 2 goals that they've had for being the biggest weekly team loss, 6.9 kilos. Vinder Blues, you've got it this week. Our weekly club loss is 25.5 kilos, which takes us up to just under 250 kilos in 7 weeks. Now, in my experience, being in Man v Fat, we've been going for the season at hitting that 300 kilo mark, hitting the 300 kilo. That was going to be, that's the threshold that we want to smash every single season. We're 7 weeks in, guys, and we're already pretty much skipping to that. Looking possibly, if we're looking halfway now, we're looking possibly hitting at least 450 kilos, if not more, if we carry on the same trajectory as we have. Top biggest losers. Thor, 3.1 kilo, absolutely fantastic, mate. Kyle Bamford, you're like a machine at 2.5 kilos. Danny Davey, 2.4 kilos. John Cottam, never stops running, 2.3 kilos. And of course, our very old Joel Barder there, a 1.7 kilo loss there. Absolutely tremendous. And our 5% club, Adam Rayson, came in to see me. He was saying about how difficult it is. The newborn, snacking has started to come through. He wasn't sure where he was going to go. He only smashed it, didn't he? Jamie Lewis knew exactly what he was doing, and Kieran, you both came in, you knew that you were going to hit it. You knew. You had that smile on your face that you knew what you were coming through to. And of course, our 10% club, James Lewis, you got there as well. You were in the position where you were thinking, yeah, got this, got it going. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I've got it. Russ Davey, you even actually, you stayed in the scales, giving me that look of, I think I've got it. I think I've got it. And you did. Amazing. Dan Kerwin, you already knew. Before you walked up to those scales, you have the look in your face going, it's in the bag. I've got this. And you did. And of course, Gareth. Chipper himself. You knew already that you were like, right, this is what I need to get. You smashed through it completely, but you knew you needed to get it. You could have had it last week, but then you decided, no, I'm going to stick around. I'm going to wait a little bit. I'm going to get it next week. The patient man is always the winner. Absolutely fantastic. And we cannot ignore Carol Phillips, 20% club. Congratulations, mate. You are there. Nobody can take that away from you. Absolutely amazing, guys. Right, so we go on. Here are the fixtures we've had on Tuesday night. So the first fixture we had Scranra and Vinde Blues. So the pitch score was 3-4 to Vinde Blues. Scales then was also Vinde Blues at 6-3. Tracking was drawn between the two of them, and of course the bonus goals was 6-3 to Vinde Blues. Overall then was 19-12 to the Vinde Blues, with Chris Carter and Chris Bing being their opponent man of the matches. Congratulations, guys. Second game, Fattistuta against the Incredible Bulks. Pitch score, 5-all. Really, really intense game there, guys. And the amount of people who've been turning around saying how intense the games are getting, how competitive the games are getting. And this is what you see in season, from considering season 1 up to season 5. There are a lot now of guys who are getting accustomed to playing. They're getting fitter. They're feeling healthier about playing. They feel more comfortable in themselves. So as a result, the games are going to intensify. The speed of the game is going to be faster. People are going to be trying new things because they've got that less weight to carry, so then they can do a bit more, and you can see that it's absolutely smashing it. 7-0 on the scales to the Incredible Bulks. We've got the tracking at 3-all, and then the bonus goals at 5-1 to the Incredible Bulks, which gave an overall score of 20-9 to the Incredible Bulks. Stan Clarkson and Corey, you were voted as the opponent man of the matches. Congratulations there. Third game, Pink Panthers, Flying Dutchmen. Now, I had an opportunity just to look out the window and have a look at this game, and boy, this was one for the spectators. It was a hell of a game. And we've got, of course, 5-7 on the pitch to the Flying Dutchmen. What a game. Absolutely fantastic. We had 13-9 on scales then due to the amount of people losing weight, the amount of milestones, etc. coming into it. You couldn't go wrong with that. We had tracking goals then, so it was 3-all to each there, and then the bonus goals of 9-4. Of course, bonus goals are added by taking the people who are still in the rumble plus any of the additional goals I put through for attendance, tracking, biggest loss, etc. Excuse me a moment, my Amazon Music wanted to flip back up there. How wonderful. Alex Mason, Lee Jenkins, you were voted opponent's man of the matches. And Lee, you wanted me just to highlight the fact that you scored a blinder of a goal. Callum, I haven't forgotten about your goal as well that you'd like to remind everybody of. I didn't see that one, but I did see Lee's. And he did come up to see me at the end of the night just to say, that's my one goal of the season. So I am expecting a shout out for that. So this is it, mate. I promise that I do it. And I'm trying to weigh up how I can do with everybody else. But unfortunately, if I don't get the information from everybody else, I can't do anything about it. So then if you want any shout outs on it, guys, this sounds like more and more of a podcast radio station than anything else. Please let me know and I'll be able to take that note into it. Fazio, Sporting a Beer Gut, fourth game. 6-4 on the pitch to Sporting a Beer Gut. 7-6 then on the scales to Sporting a Beer Gut. 3-2 tracking, Sporting a Beer Gut, and of course then 8-1 on the bonus goals, and that then is reflective again of the Rumble and any other goals that you receive from tracking, weight loss, attendance, etc. Overall, of course, was 24-13. Can't remember whether I said it was 32-21 to the Pink Panthers, but I've said that now. 24-13 to Sporting a Beer Gut. And then the opponents, man of the matches, Ashley Thomas, Nathan Algosta. Well done, guys. You played your socks out to such an extent the opposing team wanted to give you praise. That is absolutely amazing. Last game of the night, Marco Banfastin against Thin It to Win It. Score on the pitch was 2-1 to Marco Banfastin. Scales was 8-13 to Thin It to Win It. Tracking was stalemate at 3-all, and of course then we've got the bonus goals then of 7-4 to Thin It to Win It. As you can see, the overall score was 24-17, and you can see then exactly what the scales have done to the scores. That is everything there, and you can see how it gets tipped in either way. Andrew Francis Davis, Dan Kirwan, you had a blinder of a game to the point where you were mentioned by your opponents. Absolutely fantastic, guys. And you can see by here as well that all the away teams were the ones who won this week. Here's the table now, guys. You can see that the top is pretty much as it was last week. So Frying Dutchman, Sporting a Beer Gut, Thin to Win It, Marco Van Fasten, Incredible Bulks. You are all still there on top. It's getting close though, guys. You've got 7, 8, 11, 12, 14. It's getting very close there. But the real story here, guys, is down the bottom there, where we've got Vinder Blues, Pink Panthers, Fat Astuta, Scranra, and Fazio. Look at those scores. One game is going to change the whole landscape there, guys. And we've got so much to play for right now. I've been busy this week making sure that I've got the allocations for match days 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14 ready. And realistically, when you look at it, it highly depends where you land on the league. Depends on what fixtures you get. And it's going to be exciting. In all honesty with you, I find it more exciting doing it that way than setting it up at the start of the week, start of the season, and just letting it run. It's so exciting, and I cannot wait for you guys to see it. But not yet. Not yet. We've got 2 more weeks to go before that gets launched, and you can see exactly where we stand then. Okay, our team of the week. Kieran Biding, Thor, you were taking it for the Frying Dutchman. Marco Van Fasten, you've got Carol and Jamie taking the spoils for yourselves for their milestones. Absolutely fantastic there. We've got John Cottam then, of course. We've got you at a 2.3 kilo loss this week. That's why you've taken that one there. One thing I didn't mention there then, when I was talking about Thor, of course, is that his 5% was the reason why he had his team of the week there. Joe Barder, you were there then, and you have got, I'm looking at my list there, 1.7 kilo loss. Adam Racing with his 5%. James Lewis, you also are there with your 10%. Dan Kerwin, Gareth Williams with your milestones. You have taken it for Thinner to Win It. Mike Rees for Scranra, of course, with your 1.2 kilo loss there. Absolutely fantastic. Russ Davey as well. You've had that with your 10% milestone. And Adam Mounsey Martin, there is no stopping you. Might as well I just stamp your name there every single week, in all honesty with you. You've been there with a 1.2 kilo loss. Absolutely tremendous, guys. Couldn't be prouder of every single one of you. And let's go on. This is where we are all at the moment with the Rumble. Oh, it's a big one, guys. It's mental. So what we've got here, we've got 77 eliminated from the 118 that have been inducted into it. Now, of course, for anyone who's going to look at this and go, hang on now, how is there 118 when there was 116? The cut-off week was week 5. So any new person coming in before that cut-off week or on that week, they were inducted into it. However, any person new to that point then would not be inducted. Just for fairness, in all honesty with you, I don't think it'd be very fair if somebody came in a week 10 and they had 5 weeks to lose instead of the 14 that the rest of them have had. So I had to play a bit of due diligence, but I said at week 5, anybody else comes in, I'm not inducting them. So then that is where we have landed. We've got 41 remaining, guys. Now, you can either see that of going, that's getting close, or you can see it of going, hang on, 41 guys have been sustainable and consistent enough to lose for 7 weeks straight. Now that, for me, is a massive achievement just there. Don't take anything else on. Just consider that for a minute, guys. That there is enormous. 41 guys out of 118 have managed to get to know their own sustainable way of weight loss in such a means that they are able to continuously program themselves to lose on a weekly basis. I've got nothing but respect, honestly. It's a skill losing for 3 weeks. It's a skill losing for 1 week. It's a skill losing for 5 weeks. But we've got 7 weeks here with 41 of you doing it. Epic. Absolutely epic. And of course, we've got the match day fixtures for next week. So then what we've got here now, guys, for you to see, and if you are listening to it in your car, etc., I'll read it out to you. For the first game of next week, we've got Fazio against the Thin It to Win It. Then the next game is going to be Scranra against Sporting a Beer Gut. Third game, Vinder Blues, Frying Dutchman. Fourth is the Pink Panthers against the Incredible Bulks, and the fifth game and the final game of the night then would be Marco van Fasten against Fattistuta. That's been your roundup, guys. I really hope you've enjoyed it. It's been an absolute pleasure doing it this week as well, especially with all such the good news that I've given you. Yeah, looking forward to the next 2 weeks. So you all see out your fixtures as you're aware of them right now, and then I can launch that and have that buzz in there of how excited you're going to be and knowing who you're playing for the next 5 weeks after that. Guys, we're coming close to season 6. There's some massive announcements to do for season 6 as well shortly, but I'm going to leave that for another roundup. Much love. Bye now.